We don't belong to the past dawns, but to the noons of the future. Then, existence was not, nor non-existence. The midworld was not, nor the ether, nor what is beyond. What covered all? Where what? In whose refuge? What was the ocean, dense and deep? Death was not, nor immortality, nor the knowledge of day and night. That one lived without breath by his self-law. There was nothing else, nor aught beyond it. In the beginning, darkness was covered by darkness. All this was an ocean of inconscience.
Earth wheeled, abandoned in the hollow gulfs, forgetful of her spirit and her fate.
But what was there below? What was there above? There were casters of the seeds. There were greatnesses. There was self-law below. There was will above.
And a blank prescience yearned towards distant change.
Night was born, and from night the flowing ocean of being, and on that ocean time was born, to whom is subjected every seeing creature.
A memory quivered in the heart of time.
परायतीनामन्वेति पाथ आयतीनां प्रथमा शश्वतीनां व्युच्छन्ति जीवमुदीरयन्त्युषा मृतं कञ्चन बोधयन्ति कियात्यायत समया भवाति याव्यूषुर्यास्य नूनं व्युछान अनुः पूर्वा कृपते वाव शाना अधिध्याना जोष जोषमन्याभिरेति अधिध्यानात् जोषमन्याभिरेति
She follows to the goal of those that are passing on beyond.
She is the first in the eternal succession of the dawns that are coming.
Usha widens, bringing out that which lives,
Awakening someone who was dead.
What is her scope when she harmonizes with the dawns that shone out before and those that now must shine?
She desires the ancient mornings and fulfills their light.
Projecting forwards her illumination, she enters into communion with the rest that are to come.
All was made wide above, all lit below.
Darkness was wounded and vanished. Heaven shone out. Up arose the light of the divine dawn. The sun entered the fields of the vast, looking on the straight and crooked things in mortals.
The universe was not now this senseless whirl, borne round, inert, on an immense machine. It cast away its grandiose, lifeless front. A mechanism no more, or work of chance, but a living movement of the body of God. The covering Nicians was unmasked and slain.
Dawn, confronting all the worlds, thou standest high uplifted, and art their perception of immortality. Do thou move over them like a wheel, O new day, traveling over an equal field.
Meet ye the dawn as she shines white towards you, and with surrender bring forward your complete energy. Exalted in heaven is the force to which she rises, establishing the sweetness. She makes the luminous worlds to shine forth and is a vision of felicity. There is a morning twilight of the gods. Miraculous from sleep their forms arise.
and God's long nights. Are justified by dawn.
ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं यत्किञ्चित् जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथा मा गृधः कस्य स्विद्धनम्.
All this is for the habitation by the Lord. Whatsoever is individual universe of movement in the universal motion.
One unmoving, swifter than the mind, that the gods reach not, for it progresses ever in front, that standing passes beyond others as they run.
तदेजति तन्नैजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः.
That moves and that moves not. That is far and the same is near. That
Is within all this,
and that also is outside all this.
He who knows that has both in one, in knowledge and in ignorance. By the ignorance passes beyond death, and by the knowledge enjoys immortality.
I'm going to retire from the life of a householder and enter into the fourth order of life. And therefore I'm intending to arrange the division of property between you and Katyayani before taking to the final stage of life, the life of renunciation.
Lord, if all my possessions were to fill the entire earth, would they bring me immortality?
No, dear, that could never be. You could live a life of enjoyment like others who have wealth, but there would be no hope of immortality.
What then am I to do with that which cannot make me immortal?
My dear Maitreya, know that the wife loves her husband not for his sake, but for her own sake, for the sake of the self. In loving him, she loves the one who is both in her as well as in him. It is really that one whom she loves. Similarly, it's so for the husband and for all love relationships, father and son, mother and son, father and daughter, mother and daughter, friend and friend, and so on. Whatever is held to be dear is so because of that one self. It is this self which has to be seen, heard of, thought about, meditated upon. This being known, all else is known. As a lump of salt thrown in water dissolves and cannot be taken out again, even so the separate self dissolves in a sea of pure consciousness, infinite and immortal. Separateness arises from identifying the self with the body, which is made up of the elements. But when the physical identification dissolves, there can be no more separate self. This is what I wanted to tell you.
I'm confused, O Blessed One, when you say there is no separate self. Could you please enlighten me?
O Maitreya, reflect upon what I have said, and you will not be confused. As long as there is separateness, one sees, hears, smells, speaks to, thinks of, knows. But when the self is realized as the indivisible unity of life, who can be seen by whom? Who can be smelled by whom? Who can be thought of by whom? Who can be known by whom? O Maitreya, how can the knower ever be known? May the brahmacharis come unto me. Swaha. From here and there, may the brahmacharis come unto me. Swaha. May the brahmacharis set forth unto me. Swaha. Like the waters of a river rushing down the steep, like the month of a year hastening towards the old age of days. O Lord, the cherishes, so may the brahmacharis come to me from all the regions. Swaha. May the brahmacharis attain to peace of soul. Swaha. O glorious Lord, in that which is thou, may I enter.
Swaha.
Do thou also enter into me, O shining one.
Swaha.
Thou art like a river with 100 branching streams. O Lord of grace, in thee may I wash me clean.
Swaha.
O Lord, thou art my neighbor. Thou dwellest very near me. Come to me and be my light and sun.
Father, where does a man go during sleep?
The man becomes one with the Spirit, the eternal being. Man's mind is like a beast tied to a peg by a long rope. It turns round and round and cannot get away. When a man dies, his power of speech is merged in the mind. His mind is absorbed in the prana. The prana is merged in the light, and the light merges into the power beyond. That power is subtle. It pervades the universe. That is the truth. That is the Spirit. That thou art, Shvetaketu, Tat Tvam Asi.
Won't you please give me more of this knowledge, Father?
Bring me a fruit from the banyan tree.
Here is one, Father.
Break it open.
It is broken, Father.
What do you see there?
These tiny seeds.
Now break one of them open.
It is broken, Father.
What do you see there?
Nothing, Father.
My son, there is a subtle essence which you do not perceive. But through that essence, the truly mighty banyan tree exists. Believe it, my son. Everything that exists has itself in that subtle essence. It is the truth. It is the self. It is you, Beta Ketu, Tat Vam Asi.
A spirit wandered happily in the wind. A spirit brooded in the leaf and stone. The voices of thought-conscious instruments along a living verge of silence strayed, and from some deep, a wordless tongue of things unfathomed, inexpressible, chantings rose, translating into a voice the unknown.
Play out what thou hast fluted on my stops. Arise from the strain their first wild plaint divined, and that discover which is yet unsung.
Krishna, the avatar, the teacher, the charioteer of the human soul in the world action, has been preparing the revelation of the secret of himself, nature's deepest secret. He has kept one note always sounding across his preparatory strain, and insistently coming in as a warning and prelude of the larger ultimate harmony of his integral truth.
धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत संजय?
O Achyuta, stay my chariot between the two armies, so that I may view these myriads standing here, longing for battle, with whom I have to meet in this day of fight, and look upon those who have come here to champion the cause of the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra.
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापयमेच्युत यावदेतान् निरीक्षेऽहं योद्धुकामानवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे।
Seeing these, my own people, arrayed for battle, O Krishna, my limbs collapse. My mouth is parched. My body shakes and my hair stands on end. Gandhi slips from my hand and all my skin seems to be burning. It is more for my welfare that the sons of Dhritarashtra, armed, should slay me, unarmed and unresisting. I will not fight.
Whence has come to thee this dejection, this stain, this darkness of soul? In the hour of peril and difficulty, O Arjun, this is not the way cherished by the Aryan man. This mood came not from heaven, nor does it lead to heaven. And on earth, it is the forfeiting of glory.
Poorness of spirit that has smitten away from me my true heroic nature. My whole consciousness is bewildered in its view of right and wrong. I ask thee, Which way may be the better? That tell me decisively. I take refuge as a disciple with thee. Enlighten me.
Thou grievest for those that shouldst not be grieved for, yet speakest words of wisdom. The enlightened man does not mourn either for the living or for the dead. The embodied soul casts away old and takes up new bodies, just as a man changes worn-out raiment for a new. The dweller in the body of everyone is eternal and indestructible, O Bharata. Therefore thou shouldst not grieve for any creature. That which is in us is He. And all that we experience outside ourselves is He. The inward and the outward. The far and the near. The moving and the unmoving. All this is He at once. He is the subtlety of the subtle, which is beyond our knowledge. Devoting all thyself to me, giving up in thy conscious mind and all thy actions into me, resorting to the yoga of the will and intelligence. Be always one in heart and consciousness with me.
Sarva-dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayashyami ma shucha.
Abandon all dharmas and take refuge in me alone. I will deliver thee from all sin and evil. Do not grieve.
Destroyed is my delusion. I have regained memory through thy grace, O infallible one. I am firm. Dispelled are my doubts. I will act according to thy word.
When all thy work in human time is done, the mind of earth shall be a home of light. The life of earth, a tree growing towards heaven. Body of earth, a tabernacle of God.
This love that is knowledge, this love that can be the deep heart of your action will be your most effective force for an utter consecration and complete perfection. The integral union of the individual's being with the divine being is the condition for a perfect spiritual life.
Turn then all together towards the divine. Make one with him by knowledge, love, and works, all your nature. Turn utterly towards him and give up ungrudgingly into his hands your mind and your heart and your will. All your consciousness and even your very senses and body.
Let your consciousness be sovereignly molded by him into a flawless mold of his divine consciousness.
Let your heart become a lucid or flaming heart of the divine.
Let your will be an impeccable action of his will.
your very sense and body be the rapturous sensation and body of the divine.
Adore and sacrifice to Him with all you are. Remember Him in every thought and feeling, every impulsion and act.
Persevere until all these things are wholly His, and He has taken up, even in the most common and outward things, as in the inmost sacred chamber of your spirit, His constant, transmuting presence.
Often a lustrous inner dawn shall come, lighting the chambers of the slumbering mind. A sudden bliss shall run through every limb, and nature with a mightier presence fill. Lost in the halo of her musing brows, night, splendid with the moon dreaming in heaven in silver peace, possessed her luminous reign. She brooded through her stillness on a thought deep guarded by her mystic folds of light, and in her bosom